Well, I guess it's about that time. I think it's time to go ahead and see if I can get a turbo to fit in here. Yeah, it's my little winter project. I don't know when this video will be posted, probably come springtime, but it's winter time. I took the registration off, took the insurance off, parked this thing. Been running good all summer. Been kind of tweaking and tuning with the tune, but I think it's now time for a turbo. So this is what I got. I got a VS Racing turbo. There's the specs on it. I guess it's a 78, 75. This was a Facebook find, Facebook Marketplace. Ended up coming with, I've got a blow-off valve and 2 wastegates. Let's see. I mean, it's a VS Racing wastegates as well, so we'll see what it does. It's a 50 millimeter blow off. I don't know what size this wastegate is. It looks pretty big. When I bought it, it also came with a universal cold air kit, which is more or less just a box of couplings, silicone couplings, aluminum piping, clamps, whatever, miscellaneous odd and ends. And I also got a intercooler. I think it's about a 3-inch intercooler. It looks pretty decent. I just ordered through Summit a whole bunch of 2.5-inch exhaust pipe, stainless. So back to where I was at. I've already pulled passenger side manifold off. Had to take the starter off, and the 2 O2 sensors. I got a wideband and just the regular old O2 sensor for the ECM. This is what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to be able to use these stock manifolds. One of these is a 5.3 and the other came with the motor was a 6.0. I've heard that they're different. We'll find out. What I plan on doing is bolting them up facing up and forward. I'm going to have to cut the end off right there and see if I can. We'll just see. We'll see what we got to do. Hopefully I can make these work. I really don't want to buy a crossover kit or some sort of other turbo manifold kit. See where we're going to be sticking this turbo. You see this tape measure sticking up in here. I did this the other day just to remind myself before I get going too far. What I want to do is close the hood and actually measure how much clearance I'm going to have for a turbo. So before we get too far, let's knock that out now. All right, so with the hood closed, I just pushed this tape measure up until it just started hitting this insulation, which, I mean, I probably got another couple inches above this, but worst case scenario, we'll stick with that. Right there you can see we're about 13 inches. Do the same thing, probably somewhere around here. But this is the general vicinity of where the turbo's going. So that way measurements are out of the way. If I want to pull this hood off, I can pull it off rather than working around my stick here. So here's my first little setup trial fit, and actually it's not bad. This right here still, I measured down there, that, remember that right there was 13 inches. Well, this one right here in this corner was 12 inches. This makes that 12 inches. This is a perfect entry for, or the exhaust for the air outlet. Goes straight through that. I guess that was the battery hold down. Perfect shot straight down there, and it go over to wherever I'm going to do my my intercooler, somewhere up over here. I got it just balancing on some blocks of wood right now. So That T-flange is, we're going to say, about 5.5 inches. I don't know how tight that actually is or not. My flipped exhaust manifold, this is where it sits. Obviously all I did was just cut the flange off just to kind of get a ballpark idea. What I'm going to end up having to do is probably make a better cut, straighter cut this way, make it square, come out. I'd have to come out to a 90 and up into this flange right here. I guess I can clock this housing anyway, as long as my oil feed and drainer are top and bottom. So I might be able to rotate it a little bit so it's not a hard 90 straight down. The one problem I do have with this setup is my exhaust. Turbine exhaust right here, shooting straight towards my idler, cooling fan right there. I don't think that's going to work. Ideally, this is what I want. What I want is my exhaust to run right above this exhaust manifold. Just squeeze right in here. I'm hoping to make this a 3-inch exhaust. Alright, so I'm hoping to make this a 3-inch exhaust right here. And what I want ideally is to shoot it straight down and go up underneath the passenger seat and out the side exit. Ideally that's what I want. 3-inch exhaust. I went ahead and I had some 3-inch PVC and it does fit in here. I just used it just to see if it's kind of tight, but it's doable. So I think I've got enough room to shoot straight 90 down and then do whatever I'm going to do down there. That's ideal. That's what I really want. The way this is set up right now, I don't think I can make it a turn that hard and go that way. Trying to balance this thing on blocks just was not working for me. But this is where I'm sitting right now, and it looks like I might be doing all right. Right at 12 inches. That was tooth insulation. Remember, it's tooth insulation, this little foamy stuff. So I probably got at least another inch there. So I'm calling myself golden. That right there, the exhaust is good enough, easy bend. I think we can make it work. Before I even try to get that manifold to the turbine, let me dive into this side, get this exhaust off, and try putting a manifold on this side. All right, let's see how this side works. Well, it fits. All right. I don't know how well this is showing up, but it's not hitting anything. Everything else clears back there. Cleared the brake booster, all the brake lines. It's not hitting the steering. So yeah, it looks like it'll work. Like I said, I'm just going to have to hack the front of this off, which is I was expecting. Send it out forward. Not sure how to tackle, but my spark plugs, I don't know how I'm going to run my plug wires. Doesn't look like there's near enough of room to get between the manifold and the head. On the passenger side, I was thinking to myself, well, I'll just relocate these down along the frame rail or something like that and come straight, make it a straight shot to your plugs. And you know, I'm still looking at that as a pretty viable option, just moving all my coil packs down the frame. But on the driver's side, I don't see that happening. I got too much other crap down there. Brake line, steering. I guess that's it, brake lines and steering. I got the brake booster. I don't know what I'm going to do with these plugs, or how I'm going to route them or relocate. I don't know what I'm going to do. Got fuel lines also down here. I'll worry about that later. I'm gonna pull this thing back out and I'm gonna start hacking it. And we'll see what we gotta do to get it out this way. Yep, okay, let's do it. So I've been getting on Amazon trying to find a regulator to back purge. Until then, this right here, there's no way this gap right here is going to get filled in with a TIG welder. So I'm just going to pull my wire welder out, the MIG, and just gap this. Get this together, gap it. But long story short, it looks like I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it. Keep up with the tack welds until I can get a regulator. This is the driver's side. I'm to the point where I'm ready to get on my way up to my little V-band. So I'll tack weld that. Alright, so before I get too far, I was going to go ahead and just carry this on out to the turbo, but the more I thought about it, I need some way of mounting that turbo instead of off the hot side piping. That thing is pretty daggum heavy, especially when this piping gets hot. So I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if the lighting's good enough, trying to figure out a mount. They sell the Maven mounts, but I'm sick and tired of ordering parts, waiting for it to get here, and then getting the motivation to get back out in this garage. So I decided to try to build my own. Let me get a light. So that's what I got. I just got a piece of angle iron. Anyways, I got it bolted through the turbo housing, or the flange, through the other flange that gets welded to the piping. Then I'll have a nut. The only thing this is going to do is support it. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and get this built. That way I have an actual goal of where I'm running all my piping to, rather than running my piping here and there. You're stuck with a turbo in this location. Now the only problem I got is, I've got this pipe that's going to have to come into it, somehow do a quick little jaunt. What I'm going to do is, actually, this is going to be a straight pipe right here. I'm just going to run it straight and then put a little kick in it. And this is more or less, I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. On top of all that, in this small little space, I got to stick this bad boy. So I got to fit that somewhere in here. At the same time, I'm also trying to get my turbo exhaust kind of lined up where I want it. So, and to top all off, here's my fuse box right here, or one of them. So I'm trying to stay clear of that, or at least maintain access to it. I would love to be able to just stick it like right there at that angle and just 90 this thing straight down, take fresh air from underneath. But I still have to worry about the compressor outlet, and then also I can't make it too sharp, or else it's going to be a pain in the butt to get all my hot side piping in there. Alright, so this is my little bracket I made. This little angle iron is stiff enough to hold all the weight of the turbo, but at the same time I'm going to be able, until I get my piping finalized and run, I should be able to kind of tweak it, bow it back and forth a little bit to get it exactly where I need it. So there's enough give in it, but for what I was trying to do with it, it's going to work good enough. Alright, so it's come time to trying to fit this round peg into this square hole. But it looks like I got a whole lot of room for this 2.5 inch pipe. T4 flange, 2.5 inch exhaust. I'm thinking if I just stick it in a vise and pinch it, these corners right, or this edge right here will hit this edge. I think they'll hit right here, no problem. I actually think the problem I'm going to have is filling up these corners. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in the vise here, pinch it down. Hopefully I don't go too wide, and see if I can make it fit that square hole. Well, that was a whole lot less exciting as I thought it'd be. I got the 2 inches down pat. I mean, it ain't super tight, but it's there. It's in there. No problem. It's touching on that end, but this end I've got a gap. Got about that much, whatever that is. I can easily squeeze a round peg, a 2.5 inch peg in a 2x3 square hole. Now I got to see how I'm going to fill this up. My initial thoughts is right here in the center, just split it. Take a small little 1 inch cut right up the center. Same with on the back side, and spread it. I could fill in this gap easy enough. I'll take a pair of vice clips or a C-clamp here and just pull this side over, pull this side over. Then maybe I can start beating the corners in some. Get a nice tight fit in the corners. I think that's what I'm going to do. I got a pair of vice grips. I tried both C-clamps. This little one, where's this 4-inch one? I ain't quite got enough ass to it. So this one right here looks to be doing pretty decent. It's actually flattening the side out as I go. I may even need to do a bigger relief cut. Like I said, I only did a 1 inch. Might not be enough to spread this far out. We'll see. I'm closer. In fact, I'm as close as I'm going to get. I actually ended up taking this into work with me. We had to use a little, what they call a porta power, which is nothing more than just a little hydraulic ram. We had a little wedge just to stick it in there, and when you hit the porta power, the cylinder would pop open this wedge. Well, so my thought process was I could stick that wedge in here and just porta power these sides out, and you can see it worked pretty decent. Actually opened up quite a decent gap in this little relief cut I made, which is what I was looking for. That was the whole goal. It worked a hell of a lot better than me taking a hammer and beating this thing open. So we're I think we're to the point where I'm ready to start doing some welding on this. I'll probably weld here, take that C-clamp and get the last little bit out of this side, and then I can go ahead and then I'll start beating these corners in, because I mean, I still got quite a bit of a gap in the corners. Let me do this, get it over and done with, and then we'll move on. All right, so this is how far we've gotten so far. Everything's just tack welded. I do have a flex pipe in here. They say that's important, just because I guess different heat up rates need a little bit of expansion. We've already talked about this piece. All these pie cuts are just tack welded. This one's tack welded. I have not welded this yet. That's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this up and cut a hole in it, and then we'll tack it in, and hopefully it works, because that was a really pain in the butt part to make. So let's carry on. I've got my hot side pretty much plumbed up good, tacked in there, not fully welded out yet. I still need to do, obviously, my turbine exhaust, a little 3. I just got my parts for the 3-inch exhaust, and I also got I was waiting on a 2-inch pipe for my blow off, or not blow off, but the wastegate. Plan on sticking it right there. Yeah, first things first. Let me start on a 3-inch, I guess. I guess that's next. I'm not going to show you my welds, complete booger welds. I'm still learning on the TIG. This piece right here, pretty tough. Large gap. Decided to go with the MIG welder on that. All right, so here we are. I went ahead and started on the 3-inch exhaust here. I got a nice little kick here. I was trying to match the lines pretty good with this exhaust. I think it turned out all right. You see a couple blocks of wood. I went ahead and started welding a little 90 on here, thinking I was going to have to shoot a 90 down. Let me set this thing in there for you, and we'll show you how tighter than I would have thought it is. So this is what I got to deal with here. Trying to shoot down this little hole. Not sure if you can see everything I'm dodging here. Just obviously the frame right here. There's a suspension for the A-arm right there. That's about it. Oh, there's a starter somewhere down there. It's not in now. I should probably go ahead and put it in, but this is what we got. I forgot I'm also trying to dodge my header here. He goes down there right now. It's leaning against the frame. I'm just got it balanced on some 2x4s down there, but it's a little more tight than I thought. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I might have to put a small kick in here. I might have to kick this like that and then go down. Alright, so this is what we got down below. Like I said, I just got it balancing on some 2x4s down here. Alright, so I got my little exhaust pipe welded up right here. That was a little more challenging than I thought. Having to dodge my exhaust, dodge my heater box, and dodge my frame down there. So I was able to do it. It's real close to my starter as well. I don't know if you can see down there. Right now I just have it dumped out. I'll have to I'm gonna come back and I'll cut it off, put a 90 and try to shoot it out here behind the front tire. So the next logical thing to work on would be my blow off valve right here, and this is where I'm hoping to put it. I closed the hood, stuck my tape measure up there, and I got about 3 inches, so I could put a little 2-inch nipple down here, tap it into this exhaust, and what I want to do is just shoot it straight into here. Come out here and shoot straight into there. That's the plan. That's what I want to do. We'll see. So I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do is just pull everything apart, and I'll start fully welding this. I'm almost out of welding gas. Today's Sunday. I'll just run it all out, and tomorrow I'll have to get some more. I'm gonna call this the end of the video for now. I'm sure this thing run a lot longer than I was hoping to, but maybe I'll edit the crap out of it. So yeah, pretty much that's the hot side with the exception of my wastegate. Next thing is going to be the cold side.